Homelessness. 582,500 people were homeless on any given night in 2022. One third of individual homeless people suffer from chronic patterns of homelessness, meaning they have been homeless for over 1 year. Domestic violence and trauma are the primary cause of homelessness among women and children. We found that homelessness has 5 root causes.
Mental health plays a large role in the root cause of homelessness. Quite often, chronic homelessness and repeat homelessness is associated with mental health issues. The term mental illness carries a stigma, especially severe mental illness like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Once an individual becomes homeless due to mental illness, they often rotate through hospitals and other mental health facilities. They also may experience strained relationships with family members due to behaviors associated with their illness, coupled with a lack of education on mental illness and the fatigue family members often experience due to that family member's mental illness. Denial can also come into play for those suffering with mental illness due to their poor insight, which results in an inability for them to take advantage of resources, which ultimately perpetuates chronic homelessness.
Economic issues. The economy is largely influential when looking at the fluctuation of homeless people over time. Unemployment can occur when tech improvements and job outsourcing cause layoffs, or when individuals get fired due to poor work ethic. While these causes are true for many individuals experiencing job loss, those who will become homeless typically have little to no support from friends or family, and in some cases, they are unwilling to accept help for reasons of pride or safety. Low socioeconomic status is typically something individuals were born into and is perpetuated by generational mindsets and a lack of educational opportunities. Affordable housing can be hard to find due to a volatile economy and the lack of enforcement on fixed rental rates in towns and cities.
Support services and companies are essential for homeless people to get the assistance they need. However, the services and programs that do exist are typically by referral only and don't have the advertising and volunteer participation they need to provide the assistance they're capable of. As a result, the public is naive in regards to the severity of the situation and what they can do that would allow those who are homeless to feel supported and capable of getting back on their feet. Not only are people unaware of what they can do to support those who are homeless, but they're also unaware of how much homeless people are struggling to obtain the resources that are available to them. The lack of support in surrounding communities is something that is fostering the problem rather than productively addressing it.
Addiction and substance abuse. About one third of people who are homeless have problems with alcohol and or drugs, and around two-thirds of these people have lifetime histories of drug or alcohol use disorders. This is intermingled with and sometimes mistaken for mental health issues and is accompanied by poverty and crime. This creates a cycle that includes incarceration, becoming sober, depression, release back to the streets, relapsing, crime, all in different variations.
Trauma is the number one root cause for homeless women and children. Imagine being beaten within an inch of your life and you wake up to your hungry, screaming, tear-filled children. What do you do? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I chose homelessness over death. I packed what I could, I got in my car, and I drove. I was blessed to find a hotel that was known for prostitution because they charged by the hour. So I bought food from McDonald's and I gave my kids a good night's sleep for $45.
As a group, we have learned and gained perspective from our research and from stories like our group member Vicky's. Our key takeaways on homelessness include education. The common public should be more educated on the real issues of homelessness and why it occurs. Humanization. Treat the homeless with dignity by interacting with them respectfully and with consideration. Underutilization. There are shelters that do not fill up. This is due to the fact that homeless individuals and families do not feel safe in the shelters. Shelters limit the amount of personal belongings the homeless can bring with them, and shelters are not always well cleaned and can become dirty or smelly, leading the homeless to prefer the outdoors. Consider whether you are problem solving or enabling. Giving a homeless person money or a meal is kind, it truly is, but it doesn't solve the problem. We've come up with some solutions. Create more extensive programs. There should be a model that is accessible across the country that offers best practices for those that are homeless in every community, regardless of size. For example, full service programs that provide a one stop shop for homeless people. Community outreach. Practice direct personal guidance in connecting the homeless with appropriate resources per their individual needs. For example, hiring and utilizing outreach coordinators to communicate directly with the homeless and with assistance programs. And lastly, government funding and programs. It will be important to utilize government funding to make shelters safer. It is also crucial for officials to allocate funding in an appropriate way. There should be funding transparency with the public so that the people are aware of where the funds are going.